Tēnā koutou katoa, no mai hoki mai, welcome back to UniQuest. My name is Huriwai, and today we're doing General Level 3. If you haven't already mastered General Level 2, I'll leave a link down in the description below. But for today, we're going to be working on blind idle, 360 wall push, riding down a 4-stair, assisted wheel walk, and kick-up mount. Let's get into it. So normally, I idle with my right foot down like this. Today we're going to be idling with our left foot at the bottom, just like this. Really focusing just on this foot. Try and keep your upper body, your head, nice and still. Your legs are going to sway back and forth like a pendulum, just like that, just like a normal idle. So try not to forget all of the previous tips. If you have to, go back to the other previous levels and just keep practicing those until you master them. And when you start to get better, you'll be able to go from one idle, idling with my right foot down, into idling with my left foot down, just like that. Here's some more tips if you're still struggling with the idle. You don't want to be doing complete half revs like this, where your cranks and your pedals, your feet, become horizontal. You more want to go like this, so that your cranks stop when they're still on a diagonal angle, like this. You also don't want to overextend like that, going past the horizontal point. You want to keep it quite tight, like this, but not so tight that you're like this. This is really difficult. So, make sure you keep that diagonal angle. Don't fully straighten out, but don't overextend. Oof. Oof. If you've mastered idling and you want to challenge yourself, try and consciously move your arms. Instead of kind of by second nature using your arms to balance, try and consciously do something with your arms to make it harder for you to balance. So you can try and cross your arms behind the head, look at your phone, read a book, play the guitar, anything that's going to make it more difficult for you so you can master the skill better. Next up, we're doing 360 wall push. It looks like a difficult trick, but don't worry, it's easier than it looks, so just give it a go. The best tip that I can give for this trick is that it's more about holding onto an obstacle like this and allowing this obstacle to pull you backwards, like this. That's when you're going to let go, and that's when you're going to get the spin. It's not about necessarily pushing off of an obstacle like this, because it's really hard to get that spin if you're just pushing off. But if you use the obstacle to pull you backwards and then you let go and push, it's a lot easier to get that spin. For the wall push, try and time it so that your cranks are parallel with the ground, horizontal. Now there's two ways to do this trick. You can stay sitting down on your unicycle, like that, or you can stand up more like this. During the 360, I don't recommend that you hold the handle, but if you want to and it makes you feel more comfortable, you can, and you can also bunny hop afterwards, just like that, to get your balance back. Otherwise, just like always, keep your arms out for balance. Whoa! If the 360 makes you dizzy and it's difficult to ride straight, just remember the tip that I gave you when I talked about exiting a circular ride. The dab position. Just like this, 360, dab. Since we probably won't revisit this trick, I'll just show you a few variations and a few trick combos. You can use this wall push technique to start a kind of pirouette like this. Whoa! 180 into fakie 180 like that. Or just using it to 180 into backwards ride. Just keep in mind this trick can wear out your tire. So if you're like me and you've got a bit of your thread starting to show, you can see this white part popping out here, or if your tire is just getting really bald, try and deflate your tire, let all of the air out, and rotate your tire so that there's a part where there's a little bit more tread like this, can still wear out this part a bit more. Try and make sure that this part is replacing this part as the point of contact of your tire touching the ground. That'll make your tire last a lot longer, so that you're not having to spend money swapping them out just because of one little bald spot. So now we're going to practice riding down a 4-stair. If this is too difficult for you, go back to General Level 2, I'll link it down in the description, and master riding down a 2-steer before trying the 4-steer. The main thing you need for riding down a 4-steer or anything higher than a 4-steer is confidence. Don't hesitate, trust yourself, remember all of the tips from the previous level, sitting down on the seat, keep your butt down, and pull the seat into you as much as you can with your hand on the handle. Don't hesitate. I keep my eyesight pretty much. For me personally, when I roll up to the stair set, I like to keep my eyes on that bottom stair. Eyes on that bottom stair, and then when you hit the bottom, even out. And if you're lucky enough to have a handrail like this, try not to hold onto the top of the rail. When you're riding down the stairs using the rail, try and grab it a little bit lower like this. If you start by holding the rail too high, it's going to pull your body back too much like that. Just remember, if you're ever holding on to anything for assistance, you need to move your hand as you move. Try and keep your arms in front of you like this. And just some extra tips, wear a helmet if you need to. Another thing that really helps is if you psych yourself up. Try and listen to some pumping music. Do whatever you need to do to get yourself in the right headspace. Like that. Okay, now we're doing assisted wheel walk. So just like learning to ride all over again, find a nice clear area with some solid assistance to hold on to. And the first thing we're going to be doing is just putting our feet up on the tire and seeing what it feels like. So we're going to put our front foot up first, like that. And when you put your foot on the tire, I want you to press down just a little bit. And that's pretty much the same as having your foot on the pedal right here. I'm pushing down on that pedal as I'm pushing down with my back foot, just to keep that stability, to keep the wheel stuck in place, okay? So your foot's not just hovering up there, it's actually in contact with the tire, kind of locked in place so nothing is moving. Now, try and get your other second foot up there as well, and just sit here for a little bit, see how it feels, and you'll notice because your legs are in front of you, instead of like this where they're more under you, they're now a little bit more in front of you, you might want to lean back just slightly, just a little bit. So like normal, don't forget, keep your hand that's on the assistance in front of you at all times, and just one foot after the other, we're going to use our feet to move the tire, just like this. So there's two ways we can do this, either one-footed or two-footed. This is what one-footed looks like, just using one foot to slowly push the tire forward with your other foot up on the frame. And the second way to do it is like I showed you before, like this, two-footed. For the sake of this part of the tutorial, we'll just focus on two-footed. So you want to have as much contact with your foot on the tire as possible, okay? A full push like this, maintaining contact, maintaining contact, maintaining contact, maintaining contact. Don't do little pushes like this, like that. You pretty much want to keep your feet in contact with the tire all the time. See here, I've still got 2 feet in contact with the tire. Like that, still in contact, both feet in contact, both feet in contact. So you're not going to take this bottom foot off until this second foot can come on, okay? So your first push is coming from your toes and it follows through with the heel, okay? And now behind this heel, I'm going to put the second toe, and then the push is going to come from my toes, still following through with the heel, second foot coming in, pushing with the toe, following through with the heel. Just like that. Okay, so we are still just learning this trick. We are still doing it assisted. So do it as slow as you need. Take your time. You can go bit by bit, or you can stop here, wait for a little bit. Slowly, bit by bit. But as you get better with this trick, I really want you to start working it into a rhythm. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. If you're struggling with this trick and you really want to practice it, grab on with 2 hands, but just keep in mind you don't want to build a bad habit of doing this, because to master this trick, you really do need to build that straight, nice, balanced posture, like this. Now, really focusing on your foot positioning, after that first push, as soon as there's any space, as soon as there's any room, start bringing that second foot in, basically with your toe touching the heel of that first foot. Just like that. As soon as there's any room, bring that second foot in, maintaining as much contact with the tire as possible, directly behind that first foot. Just like that. Okay, so now we're going to finish it off with a kick-up mount. This is easier than it looks, so give it a try. Just like that. The hardest part about this trick is the recovery. So for me, you'll notice I slightly pedal backwards before I pedal forwards. So just watch. Now slide backwards and then I go forwards. You can also do this trick directly into backwards riding. Or you can do it into an idle. Instead of aiming specifically for one of those specific types of recoveries, just see which way your body leans and figure out what you want to do from there. Put one foot under the seat here. This foot is going to flick the unicycle up like that. But really the foot that's doing the majority of the work is this foot that's on the pedal. This foot on the pedal is going to push down and that foot is going to straighten the unicycle up like this. Okay? This second foot here that's under the seat is going to guide the seat into the right place. It's going to flick it into this position here, just like that. And you want to try to bring your hand in as fast as possible. So this foot is going to flick it and this hand is going to catch it, like that. Push down on this pedal with this foot, flick the seat up and catch it with your hand, just like that. So pushing down with this foot to bring the unicycle up, flick the seat up with this foot to this position here, catch it with your hand, just like that. If need be, try holding onto your assistance. Two hands, and this time instead of catching it with your hand, I want you to try and slap this seat into your thigh like that, okay? So starting here, same foot position, hold onto your assistance, and we're going to shoot that seat into this thigh here, just like that. Back on the ground, try again. And then if you want, try using the technique catching the seat with your hand, just like that. And once you've mastered this trick and you want to make it a little bit more difficult, try it with no hands, just like this. Another way to do this trick, cranks parallel with the ground, horizontal, then lean it over like that, keep the cranks where they are, and now instead of putting my foot on the pedal, I'm going to put it on the crank, and I'm going to aim to finish this trick bunny hopping, okay? So just like this, bunny hopping, and then get those feet back to the pedals, and you're away. So the ideal position for this trick, you want to position yourself so that with the slope of the wheel, the highest part of the slope is here, the bottom part of the slope is here. That's where you want your pedal to be, closest to the bottom part of the slope of the tire, okay? Just like that. Cool mutu tato, all finished for today. There are some difficult skills and tricks in this video, so if you haven't quite mastered them, don't be too discouraged. Go back, visit the other episodes, and just practice, 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 practice. If you're wanting early access to these UniQuest episodes, or if you want to support the content on this channel, visit our Patreon. We'd really appreciate your support. And as always, mā te wā. We'll see you in the next episode. Peace.